Hello, it's the Game Club Pod.
Such enthusiasm to start with.
I'm tired. It's been a very long day.
You're the one that insisted we record.
I do need to, because this episode is out on Monday next week. For the audience, that's a week's time from now. So I need to turn this one around quick.
Woof.
Woof. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Wow.
I'm going to keep my involvement in this episode to the word woof. So
woof. Woof. Alex, how you doing?
Okay.
Good. You're not woof?
No, I'm not woof. I'm more of a bow wow, but, you know.
Good. Good. Are we doing a skit for this intro or no?
woof.
I think the skit is we're idiots.
No, Tim, it's your episode. Do what you want.
This episode contains spoilers for World of Warcraft. Hello, this is Tim at Wembembo on everything, back with another Game Club pod episode. I'm joined by my brother Joey Fitz.
Woof.
And I'm joined by Alex.
Bow wow.
Bow wow. And this week we are talking about World of Warcraft, the 2004 MMO RPG. But before we get into the episode proper, we're going to ask a question to these other two just to get some creative juices flowing. Gang, what's a game that you've always wanted to review on the podcast?
Ooh.
That's a weird woof.
So, woof.
Woof, what a question.
Woof. What a dog's life. That's what I want to review.
That was a weird game. Alex, did you ever play A Dog's Life on PS2?
I can't say I ever played it on PS2, but I'm sure it was on other consoles, wasn't it?
I don't know. Not to my knowledge, but I could be wrong. Maybe Dog's Life influences spread further than I can imagine.
No, it's just a PlayStation 2.
Oh, wow.
I'm looking at it now and it looks
fine and dandy.
I mean,
can we do that in a cutscenes of the 1918 Charlie Chaplin film A Dog's Life?
I thought you were going to say cats and dogs.
Woof.
There's a more modern film called Dog's Life, isn't there? I'm thinking of The Secret Life of Dogs.
Yeah.
That's not my answer. My answer is Banjo-Kazooie.
We did do that, and then we cancelled it for some reason. We made a start.
Let's not say the reason.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying for some reason.
Sorry, were you being ambiguous, and I'm here going, let's explicitly not talk about that reason.
Let's put up as many signposts as we can that we don't want to talk about it.
If you could just put an alert sound here, for no reason, we don't want to talk about that episode.
Yeah. Alex, what about you? What game have you always wanted to review?
It's one that was on the docket at one point and we ran out of time. I really want to do Cyberpunk.
Oh my god, I'm on such a Cyberpunk kick at the minute.
And I think it'd be an interesting conversation based on its history.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do Metal Gear Solid 1. I think that'd be really fun.
I can see into your mind.
But you like men.
See into my mind?
No.
Yeah, no, good. All right, well,
I think we can still do all three of those games.
I think
it's probably going to be 2026, though.
We were going to start on Metal Gear Solid, but then we decided not to for reasons, Tim.
Ambiguous reasons.
No, but actually, that was not the same reason as my Banjo-Kazooie.
No, I know. I don't think there was a reason for one.
No,
I think it just got bumped down the line in favour of some more easy wins because we needed to build more of a buffer.
Look where we are.
Look where that got us.
Yeah. A week's time, everyone.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Right, we're going to talk about World of Warcraft. So,
Hold on, Alex. Can I make a bet with you?
Nah, go on.
What do you think? Will this episode be longer or shorter than the cutscenes of Warcraft, the movie?
I mean, the cutscenes was 20 minutes long, so we're already a quarter of the way there.
So, I mean, that doesn't rule out anything. What do you think?
And we've not even got through the... Yeah, we'll just get to the main episode and be like, Joey, well, Warcraft good. Alex, Warcraft good. Tim, Warcraft good. Good, bye.
yeah. The base game of World of Warcraft, which is what we primarily focused on, came out in 2004 and picks up right after the events of Warcraft 3. The world of Azeroth is still reeling from wars, plagues, and demonic invasions, with two great factions standing opposed. The Alliance, led by humans, dwarves, night elves, and the Horde, being made up of orcs, trolls, Taurian, and the Forsaken. At the heart of the story is a fragile, uneasy peace between the factions that is constantly strained by old grudges, new conflicts, and all the while, darker threats looming over the horizon. Gang, it's our first MMORPG on the podcast. I'm going to go to immediate thoughts with Alex.
You forgot two things at the start there.
What?
The Alliance also has the Gnomes as a base race.
They do.
And it's pronounced Tauren, not Taurine. Taurine's the bull piss that goes into monster.
I thought I said Tauren.
No, it sounded like you said Taurine, but it's fine.
I thought I said Tauren. I could be mistaken, though.
Immediate thoughts are I played the ever-loving out of this when I was in college and into university. I'm talking, I think I might have had 1,000 and something hours in it by the time I finished playing. I would love to go back and get an accurate number, but that account is permanently banned.
How'd it get banned?
It got compromised.
No.
And I've tried several times to get it back, and every time they go like, nah. And at this point, it's a lost cause. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of MMOs, especially, well, not so much now because it's quite hard to get people together for them. But, you know, back in the day when you had a very sort of specific schedule and everyone was on the same schedules because, you know, college, university, and all that jazz, it was really easy to have people to play with. Nowadays, as a 30-something-year-old, not so much.
No.
But it doesn't mean I don't love MMOs. This was... Yeah, WoW was my gateway drug into MMOs.
What did you... So, obviously, we said 10 hours or up to level 20, because the free trial for World of Warcraft allows you to go up to level 20 per character. And there's no limit to the amount of characters that you can have. You can just go up to level 20 on them.
Yeah.
So, I want to know what you played for this trial, if you like.
For this trial, I played as a Tauren Shaman.
Okay, all right.
With totems and elemental magic. It was fun. They're a combination healer and DPS class. Yeah, great time.
Good stuff, good stuff. Joey, I'm going to go to you with your up to 20 hours or up to level 20 on World of Warcraft.
I didn't do either of them. I got to level 16 and told you that I was done.
I think that's fair.
So I hope that's okay. I feel like I got a good flavour of it. I wanted to preface this with, boys, I've done some things on the podcast that I'm not proud of. I recorded the first 3 episodes with my microphone facing the wrong way.
Where is this going?
I've lost entire episodes because I hadn't downloaded the episode in time and had to cobble together some DLC.
You've also nearly deleted the podcast once.
I nearly deleted all of the podcast on more than one occasion. I deleted our entire schedule when I was trying to free up my Google Drive space.
Yep.
I locked us out of our Twitter more than one time. But now I've partaken in an episode where I actually haven't even been in the room or listening. So I apologise, Alex. I imagine your review of Warcraft went something like this. I played this a lot at uni. I've only just got back to it. I did the free level cap, and I played as someone who uses magic. Had a good time. Good time.
You pretty much nailed it.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Get in there. So, boys, I'll be attending 1/3 of our podcast going forward because I already know all the answers. No, so my time in World of Warcraft.
Is this your first MMO, by the way?
I played the Elder Scrolls Online
Oh, yeah.
on release day for 2 hours before thinking, I flipping hate MMOs. And that's
Did
it.
you also play Fallout 76 when it came out?
For much less time than I was supposed to play it for the podcast, yes. We did an episode on it together, Alex. Do you not remember?
We?
Yeah, it was me, you, and Slade. It was me, you, and Slade. Yeah, I didn't count that as an MMO because I didn't see a single other person in the whole world apart from you, and you glitched out of my world. So
Yes, I did
can't
buy
count
the
that as an
wrong.
MMO. I played RuneScape for about 2 days and then thought, what is the point in this? It's grindy and boring.
Welcome to MMOs, my friend.
But this is my thing. So if you, I'm gonna take us backwards a little bit. So I'll tell you about my time in World of Warcraft in just a second. But if you go to our surprisingly organised schedule sheet that we have for the podcast, there is a list that I haven't deleted yet. Is the prominent word there? There's a list of things that we can choose for thanks I hate it. Tim, point-and-click adventures. Alex has traditional fighters. Tim has superhero movies. Alex has Souls-likes. Things like that, right? And for some reason, mine's been deleted because I was going to make the big point that number 2 on the list is MMOs. And it is, again, because I don't like MMOs. I don't get on with MMOs. I don't play MMOs with friends. I don't have friends to play MMOs with because I have this kind of opinion on things. And I went into World of Warcraft thinking, I can't wait to bum rush my way to level 20 so I don't have to keep playing this. I opened up the game, and can I ask, when did you guys play this?
Like when did we first play it?
No. When did you play it for this playthrough?
Oh, literally yesterday.
Okay, Alex.
I did my level 20 run about a month ago.
Okay, Tim, you probably get it. Alex, I don't know if you did. Did you get the cinematic trailer for The War Within?
No, but I've watched it.
Of Anduin sitting, looking at the end of the world, talking to his orc mate.
No.
And please be proud that I remembered the name, because that really was challenging for me. I watched that in its entirety, not realising it was skippable, because believe me, I would have skipped it. And I thought, when I started this, I thought, oh, God, I really am not looking forward to this. And I watched this, and it's this moody guy sat on his own going, no, I don't want to play with anyone. And the more I watched it, the more I thought, flipping hell, this world looks awesome. And then it cut to the giant sword at the end, and I thought, oh, do you know what? Warcraft, you've got your claws into me. Let's play the game. And then I got to the character creation screen, and I had no idea what I was looking at because it was so pixely, it felt like I was playing RuneScape again. So I played as the first character, first class that you get set up as, which was a human warrior. I don't know if your class determines anything different in your playthrough, but I went onto a ship and killed everything by spamming the 1, 2, and 3 keys on my computer. Then they said, go over there, and I spammed 1, 2, and 3 over there. Then I got on a beach, and they said, go and save some people, and I spammed 1, 2, and 3 over by the people. And that was generally the kind of direction of traffic for about 6 hours until I hit level 16. And it was only about 3.5 hours in, I realised I could ride a griffin. And I thought, wow, I'm going to be able to spam 1, 2, and 3 over by the guys really quickly. And then I found out there's no fast travel. And if I wanted to go somewhere, I had to run. But then I got to someone and they said, oh, I can get you there really quickly. And so I paid this man, not real money, but in-game money that I spammed 1, 2, and 3 for. And the fast travel was I got on something that flew, and in real time, it flew me over this enormous world. And I thought, I would have got a better view if I just walked it. And at that point, when I reached my destination and said, right, I'm ready to go to the Isle of Dragons, and then I got to the Isle of Dragons and it was all just flaming slugs, I thought, all right, I'm done. So level 16 is enough. I did not have a fun time with World of Warcraft. I think I enjoy the lore. I enjoy the world. I think it's because it's an MMO, because there was definitely some good stuff here, but it wasn't good stuff for me. So, If it's your jam, I understand why it's your jam. All power to you. But my interaction with World of Warcraft going forward will be when I decide to watch the South Park episode on it.
How do you kill that which has no life?
Exactly.
Yeah. I had fun with it. I played a little bit of World of Warcraft in uni, primarily. And yeah, it's like the MMO. It's what everyone thinks of when you're talking about MMOs, because it's been around for so long and it's got such a storied history. Like, it came out in 2004, the base game, and we've had 10 major expansions, anything from Cataclysm to Mists of Pandaria.
So, sorry, I was at uni and my housemate loved World of Warcraft, and he loved it when Cataclysm came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember looking and watching him play it and thinking, hey, this looks great. But then I came to that game 15, 16 years later and looked at it and went, hey, this looks like that game I saw 16 years ago. Have they updated anything to make it more in line with modern gaming?
No, I mean, graphics-wise, it like you say, it looked very much like it did back in 2010 whenever I was playing it. There was, I can't remember now if it was a mod someone was working on or if it was a plan Activision Blizzard had to bring it to Unreal 5 or 6, one of the two, and it looked incredible running on that engine.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I think it might have been a mod that got shut down.
Well, that's a shame.
But or it's still in production, but it was...
I don't think the graphics are everything here, but this game looks dated, like really dated.
I actually really like the way that it looked. I'm not going to say like it filled me with nostalgia because I didn't put as many hours into this game as Alex did, but it did take me back to, early PC gaming when I was first getting into PC gaming. It was a cool little trip being like, I remember when stuff looked like this consistently. But the thing that blew me away more than anything, and I don't know whether this is more to do with like, hey, I pay attention to little details in animation, or whether or not I'm just being impressed by something that's actually in game for the time, was the facial animations in engine. For 2004, the stuff they were coming out with in this game would have been really difficult to do. And I was just looking at it being like, that's actually pretty impressive.
For the time, it was really, obviously, by today's standards, it's...
by today's standards,
it's dated. But...
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's something to do with... I'm not saying for a second, I don't really care that the graphics aren't great. I don't think graphics make a game. I think they can help. I think it's judging a book by its cover. But I didn't think there was anything really visually that was very standout in World of Warcraft. And I have to say that when I saw it years and years ago, I was quite impressed with how it looked. And I would have thought that smaller tweaks to the game could have been made, not to bring it up to like, you need a 4090 to run World of Warcraft, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's popular because it's accessible, which is great, and it should be. But I feel like it looked dated, and I wonder if I see it differently to you guys, because I didn't play it or see it for any length of time really all that time ago when that was kind of upper end of what games look like.
I think it's a valid criticism. I mean, Alex, you'll have to chime in here if I'm incorrect, but from what I remember, Final Fantasy 16, which is the MMO I personally prefer instead
Final
of
Fantasy
Warcraft.
14. 14,
sorry, not 16. Thanks for already correcting me on that. I feel like that's had a few graphical updates in its time. Like, not talking like the original one that they canned and then turned into Realm Reborn, but like since Realm Reborn has launched, I feel like they've done a few graphical upgrades.
Yeah, I think a couple of the major updates did come with graphical overhauls.
Yeah,
not like you said, nothing groundbreaking, nothing that you're necessarily going to notice. You're not going to look at a tower and go, "That looked like crap before, and now it looks amazing." But
not like
little
Cyberpunk.
tweaks.
Yeah.
Little tweaks to things like I think a lot of it was around like the VFX animation more than the physical models and such.
And I wonder, like, I know this level 20 cap thing that they do for free, which, like, hats off. You got to commend that. That's a really cool thing that more games should do, because if it was like a 10-minute demo, I would have very little to say that I enjoyed about it. But I did enjoy bits of it, which I'm sure we'll come on to when I remember them, in like the 6, maybe 7 hours it would take you to get to level 20. That's a really good way of enticing people into a game that you then have to pay for. And I think that one of the drawbacks with the level cap is, to me, World of Warcraft seems to live and die on its story and its lore. And that is what puts it head and shoulders above other things. But I don't know if 6-7 hours is enough to get into that enough to be hooked. I don't know. What do you think?
I think what this is, and you've rightly said it there, is accessible. Like, this is probably the way to check if you're going to enjoy MMOs or not. Because what have you got to lose? It's free.
Or what's the one? Something 2. That was the other one that Phil used to play. Guild Wars 2. Yeah, that's free. That's meant to be okay for an MMO.
Yeah.
It is good, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
But, like, yeah, I mean,
first.
Of course, Warcraft is like a really long and storied lore that thankfully they don't just exposition dump on you. I say that. I mean, the first couple of bits of dialogue with a narrator just barking words and places at you is just, you know,
this is
a bit
Stormwind.
Yeah. But it like the storytelling, at least in the up to the level 20 cap, it feels pretty good pace. Like, they're not cramming too much down your throat, and equally they're not just drip feeding stuff. They're actually laying out quite a good breadcrumb trail for you to be like, oh, maybe I will give this a further go if you like the gameplay.
I would be very curious to see what their new player counts are like, because a lot of what I see on forums and YouTube and the likes for not for Final Fantasy, for World of Warcraft, is endgame stuff. It's all people talk about is problems or successes or cool things, shit things with the endgame. You don't really see much of people going, hey guys, I'm new to this World of Warcraft, how do I do X, Y, and Z? It's a lot of, you know, I'm a level 90 Retribution Paladin, I've got this exact spec, this is my layout, how do I beat this?
So I'm looking at a player count graph here because it is interesting, especially like you can see the peaks and troughs as expansions come out and as updates come out. But this game peaked in August 2024 with 14.87 million players.
August 2024 was the release of the War Within expansion.
So that would make sense. Whereas now we're in August 2025, and the all-time peak of the month is 7.1 million players.
It's still massive.
That's still huge.
Yeah, but what it'll be is people... obviously, people dive on it when there's a new expansion, and then they burn through the expansion in a week and then go, oh, there's no content in this game. And then they close the game down for another couple of years until the next expansion, and then the cycle repeats itself ad nauseum.
I was going to ask you guys about this. So you guys, I mean, when you were playing, what were the expansions that came out whilst you were like into this?
I remember Cataclysm coming out.
Cataclysm was a big dragon.
That was the big dragon. I seem to remember, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, that they announced that by basically killing everyone with a Deathwing.
Yeah, one of the islands basically got split in half. So the land Durotar, which is where Orgrimmar, the Orcish capital, is, basically got split right down the middle by this big fuck off dragon
called Deathwind.
Deathwind, and that was the cataclysm, as it were.
Oh yeah. So
it was, yeah.
I guess my question around this is, you said there's been 10 expansions.
Yeah.
Which actually, for a game released 2024, so 21 years old, it could buy its own alcohol in America. That, to me, on a game that people really know life, and it's not like one of those games that a few people know life. There are a lot of people that spend
millions
a
of
lot
people.
of time on this. I don't understand, and I guess this is my pea-brain when it comes to MMOs. Like, surely you get through, say, Cataclysm, for example, surely you get through the content in that in, let's say, 3 months, right? You've done all that content, and then another update doesn't come out for a year and a half.
As with any other game that releases expansions or DLCs and the likes, there is constant content updates within, and you've got to remember these updates aren't just adding a big main storyline. There's loads of little ones that tie into it. A lot of the time they're introducing a new a new profession, a new player class, a new player race. So some people may start from scratch because one thing Final Fantasy doesn't do, which really it should. If I said Final Fantasy, the one thing Final Fantasy does that World of Warcraft should do is let you play any class as a character. Final Fantasy, I could start as a gladiator, work my way up to a paladin, and then go, I really fancy being a hunter. Or a ranger, sorry. So I go find the ranger trainer in whatever capital city he's in, and he goes, here you go, you're now a level 1 ranger.
Okay.
Go out and crack on. This, if you start this as a paladin, for example, and you decide I want to go and become a monk, you have to start a new character from scratch.
Because you've already spec'd all your ability points into the
because you've chosen paladin at character creation,
So like I personally, for this playthrough, for up to this level 20 cap, I played as a Worgen Warlock, because with me and any sort of like fantasy based game, it always boils down to Warlock.
It's because you're a submissive furry.
Too right. So if I wanted to move over to like I say paladin or a cleric or a druid of some sort, like they're all magic based, but I've committed to a warlock at start. But there are people who do entire challenge runs, so they'll be like a really common one, if I'm to use like a RuneScape example, is a hardcore Iron Man, which is the goal of getting all your stats leveled up to maximum, but if your character dies at any point, you have to scrap that character and start again.
Okay.
So there's people who do that. There's people who make real money on MMOs, like be that farming and selling things or trading items or selling accounts or whatever the case may be. Granted, I think selling accounts is against the terms.
Very illegal.
Yeah, but selling items and shit, absolutely, go for it. To give you an idea, on this same website that had the play account, it's also got Blizzard's annual revenue from World of Warcraft alone here. Now, it only goes up to 2022, but in 2022, they made 2.012 billion from World of Warcraft.
Wow. But the thing is, so I get that for the hardcore bunch. I get the living on it to sell and make money. I get the challenge runs, what have you. What I don't understand is how that is sustainable for 7 million people. Like, what is it that those 7 million people are consecutively doing all the time? And I'm not saying all 7 million are no-lifing, but there doesn't seem to be a lot between expansions to keep you going within that time. It's not a criticism, it's genuine curiosity. I don't quite get what is there for those people.
I think in the 16 hours that you play, or however long it was, or getting to level 20, you don't see the vastness of what is actually in that game in terms of dungeon raids, bosses,
Lore,
professions, lore, locations. Like, you'll have only seen as a human, you probably started in Stormwind, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Started in the little village of Goldshire, went up to Stormwind, and then went to go play with dragons. That is a very, very small bit of space on a decently sized continent on a very big map.
Okay.
an ever-expanding map as well, mind.
Yeah, and there's even... It's not just like the little towns and cities that are your main quest hubs. There's loads of quests you can find out in the wild. There's loads of little... People do like collectibles and all sorts, because there's pets, there's mounts, there's all sorts, weapons, gear sets. People collect a lot of weird stuff in there.
Yeah.
And talk to me about level caps. Like, the level cap, I understand the point in it, so that you don't have people who are like level 1 billion. But beyond a level cap, I'm trying to think of what my question actually is here.
What do you do when you've hit the cap?
Yeah. Perfectly worded.
People will often grind out raids and dungeons for rare equipment. So something that maybe has like a 5% drop. There's a YouTuber I follow, Wow Crendor. Alex, you probably know him.
Yeah.
Personally.
Personally, good friends me and Crendor.
I love Crendor's stuff, but he has a whole thing where he will, on his channel, he primarily puts out what he calls pointless top 10s, where it'll just be like top 10 birds, top 10 road signs in World of Warcraft, whatever. But he also spends a lot of time farming for mounts, which is like you alluded to the Griffin earlier that you could ride manually. There are hundreds of different mounts in the game, and people just spend their time collecting them.
Okay. All right.
There is also, the other thing, and it feels silly that we've not said this, given that it's an MMO, there is the social aspect of it as well, because you can form guilds in the game. These guilds can be, I think it's up to 200 people or something like that. And if you find a guild that's active and that you get on with the people in it, that can really make the game for you.
Fair enough. Do you think I missed out on something by playing my thing entirely by myself?
No, and here's why. I tried talking to people. I got some assistance with, what was the large bear called just outside of Stormwind?
You needed assistance
I know who you're on
for
about.
that, noob.
Well, I said I didn't need assistance. I was casting Shadowbolt, and some people came in and started doing warrior shit and whatever. And I put in the chat, "Great job, gang," to which I got the response, "F off."
So that is
valid.
Yeah, this is, and I'm gonna put on my old rose tinted glasses and go back in the Wayback Machine for this.
That was Alex saying that, Tim.
Yeah,
it was me. Sorry, no.
I get it.
The community in World of Warcraft, and again, this is based entirely on hearsay and things I've seen online, does seem to have become very, very toxic. And a big part of that is, it seems in at least the recent development cycles within Activision Blizzard, a lot of the focus has been on the hardcore endgame stuff rather than the beginning parts. So a lot of what you're going to get is just toxic hardcore players. Not to say every hardcore player is toxic, but
there's a lot of them.
The majority are. When I was playing back in college, I was part of a guild, and it was amazingly active, and a lot of the people in there were dead good and helpful, friendly, to the point. One of the I shouldn't laugh at that. That was a bad point to laugh. One of the players died in real life, and we as a guild held a funeral for him in game. And there was back then, at least, there was a lot of that community aspect to it. It does feel now that people are. It's almost like they're in their cliques. People have got their guilds, and that's it. They don't care about anyone else.
I wonder if that's to do with the advent of chat programs like Discord and TeamSpeak. That's gone down because prior to that, really MMOs were the social game online. Mm-hmm. So if you went there with the expectation of social interaction, whereas now I can hop on Team Fortress, a shooter, and hit and listen to someone talk about selling feet for 20 minutes. It's not really got the same kind of level of community.
Mm-hmm.
Joey,
why are you listening to people selling feet?
It came up in conversation when I was playing TF2 not long ago.
So that wasn't pulled out of nowhere. You are genuinely.
I'm pulling from experience on that.
Okay, good for you. Cool.
Yeah.
But I
They
think
said the neighbour bought
this,
feet picks for £10 a batch, and we said that he was underselling.
moving swiftly on,
Depends on quality of
because
feet.
I don't need people knowing that I'm selling those. I do feel like video games as a whole, and especially online cooperative video gaming, has become inherently toxic to people outside of your own groups.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the state of how gaming is now. Is it's all, apart from us, we're nice. Come play with us.
You say that. I was thinking about when we play Rematch. So when we play Rematch, Tim, Alex and I, and we play with someone who plays very selfishly, every time they mess up, we spam good job. We are as toxic as the rest
Yes.
of them.
I wasn't saying that we're not guilty of it as anyone else, but
But
I
to
think
us,
it is the state of gaming now.
to us, it's a funny joke, and to them, it's these guys are dicks. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that is rose tinted glasses, because accessible, popular games do tend to attract. Well, maybe that's not even fair. They attract so many people that there will be a high chance that you'll run across someone who's a dickhead, because you just need to think back to Xbox Live Call of Duty lobbies that were, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many people have apparently slept with my mother? It's just ludicrous. It's...
Try and have a structured conversation in Among Us and see how that goes.
Yeah, try and do that. But yeah,
Or in League.
I don't know why it is that way. But I mean, I found with World of Warcraft, steering it back to the social aspect of my playthrough, I saw people fighting the exact bear that Tim did, but I breezed past them, no one said anything and left. And then when I did that, there was a few people wandering around the main city, but there didn't seem to be that many. And I understand it's because I was in a starting area. And if the player base is established, they're not going to be hanging around a starting area. So I get that, but it does speak to a lot of the players all being experienced and, not mingling with those who are not so.
I wonder how much of that is just like gatekeeping. Like the kind of, I've put several thousand hours into this and I'm not going to talk to anyone with less than 2,000 hours.
You can't play with us.
Yeah.
That's what I do with Football Manager.
That's
If you
fair.
haven't put 8 months solid of your life into it, I'm not going to talk to you about it. There's a game we were going to cover on the podcast, but I didn't want to.
Football Manager.
Do you want another one? Because I just remembered it.
Go on.
Bluey the video game.
What?
That was genuinely on our shortlist to play, but I played it and it was bad, and I didn't want to hear you be mean about Bluey, so I took off the winning one.
That's awesome. So we've gone 40 minutes into this podcast and haven't really mentioned the story.
Oh my
the game.
god! Okay, strap in, people. Tim,
it's going to be a real whistle-stop tour, and it's only focusing on base game, and I'm not going to go into end game stuff. There's going to be some spoilers. Go for it.
There is a world. There is war crafted within that world, and people are at war.
I have an idea for the title of this game. So, at the heart of the story of World of Warcraft, I mentioned earlier, there's a few big threats in the world. So, if we look at the Eastern Kingdoms, there's the ruined land of Lordarion, which festers under the control of the Scourge, while the Forsaken seek vengeance and survival. In Kalimdor, is that right, Alex? Kalimdor. The Orcs, Night Elves, and Tauren struggle to coexist with one another while facing a lingering demonic corruption. And across both continents, the Burning Legion, who are a vast demonic army, and the Scourge, who are a undead plague from the Lich King's sway, threaten just everyone, all life. Fuck everyone if they're on the planet. Rather than one single storyline, though, in World of Warcraft, the story actually kind of unfolds depending on a number of things that you pick. But I think the primary thing is whether you're with the Horde or the Alliance. Be that, the good guys and the bad guys, if you like. If we're using, original Warcraft kind of structuring. It depends on a bunch of things because it feels like stories just unfold per region. So it's really tricky to pin down one specific story to go to here. So like if you were to go to Pandaria, for example, you would have a completely different story to someone who spent most of their time in Stormwind.
There is something I noticed. So we've played the retail version of World of Warcraft. That's what it's referred to as. It's the retail version. It's the version you buy. There is also classic World of Warcraft, which is the game in its original state back in 2004. Now, what I've found out wandering around is that in all the major cities there is a character called the Chronomancer, who you go up to this Chronomancer and you say to them, "I want to play." I want to do the story of the Burning Legion. I want to do the story of the Lich King, and you get teleported off to it's almost like an alternate universe sort of thing. What it is, if you say, because the world's changed that many times and the map's expanded so much. If I went to the Chronomancer and I said to them, "I want to go and play the Wrath of the Lich King," I will be put in an instance of the world that reflects how the world looked during Wrath of the Lich King, and I would be prompted and guided and play through that story. That wasn't a thing in the original days. You just played them as they came.
That's something I really appreciate about WoW. Is like there's a lot of players that are just like, "Oh, I only liked it, but like pre-Cataclysm or whatever." Go and play pre-Cataclysm then. There are servers for that. Go do it. What are you complaining about?
I don't know how I feel about the Chronomancers, because it seems... I get why they're doing it, and again, it leads back to that accessibility of I don't want to start playing this from the War Within. I want to start playing it from the Burning Legion. And it's good, but I don't know. Something about it just doesn't feel... It's not the... I'm aware it's probably because it's not the World of Warcraft I know, so I don't like it, but...
Do you know what I sometimes think about with these MMOs that have been going on for years and years and years and years and years is what the development of expansions actually looks like. So earlier this year, we got a old school RuneScape expansion. Now, when did old school RuneScape come out? Like 15, 16 years ago? Maybe longer. And we're still getting... Like, I want to know if they're still developing on original software. But then... Obviously, for World of Warcraft, we've already said it's quite dated and it's still reliant on that 2004 architecture. Like, what does that look like in terms of a development cycle?
Well, it's a good thing we bought along lead developer for what now?
Yeah.
RuneScape came out 24 years ago, Tim.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, the original RuneScape. Old school RuneScape was 2013.
RuneScape, baby.
Old school was 2013.
Oh my God, I love old school RuneScape so much.
It's okay, Tim. We understand.
Yeah, but to go into some more details about the game, because obviously we've waffled on quite a lot already. We've already covered this game is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, or MMORPG, available for Mac, Windows, Android, and Mac operating systems. I don't know why they've separated that. But it's also had a bunch of awards nominated for it. So it got the Technology and Engineering Emmy Award for Outstanding Achievement in Video Gaming and Technology Applications. That's the only award it's won. It's been nominated.
Was that back at the start in like 2004?
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. It's won a few other awards. So it's been in 2011. It got a Best Sequel RPG nomination and at the Navigator Awards. It's been nominated for a few music awards because, to be fair, the soundtrack in World of Warcraft is really good. It actually won a bunch of Visual Effects Society awards between 2008 and 2011. Between 2005 and 2013, it had Best Motion Picture Sound Editors for the cutscene work specifically, which is really interesting.
That is one thing. That is definitely one thing worth mentioning. Is the actual fully animated and fully fleshed out cinematics for this game are incredible.
especially for a product of this time.
Mm-hmm.
At the 2007 Satellite Awards, it was nominated for for outstanding role-playing game, and then for the BAFTAs in 2007, it was a nominee for best multiplayer. In 2015, it was a nominee for best persistent game, and in 2025, it's up for best evolving game. Joey, you good? You're just biting a bottle there.
I just don't have a lot to contribute, if I'm totally honest with you.
Oh, totally. That's fine. Well, shall we get to scores, thoughts? Yeah? Good. All right, I'm going to go to Joey first.
So not for me. I understand and appreciate the world of Warcraft. Ooh, you said the title.
He did it. He said the thing.
I loved the opening cutscene. I think if I could be bothered to grind to level 1 million, there was probably some really good lore and exciting stuff that I could get behind. So whilst not for me, I am going to give it a 7 out of 10 because I understand for MMO fans this is the OG.
Cool. Alex?
If this was back in like 2008, 2009, we'd be having a very different conversation. It'd be a 10 out of 10 for me. Having replayed it, there's still a lot of that nostalgia there and a lot of things I do like about the game, but to what Joey said, it does look really quite dated now. The community aspect is all but gone, which makes it feel less like an MMORPG and more like just an RPG. And I don't think level 20 or 10 hours was quite enough to really get into the meat of it. So it's going to be, I'm going to put it, where am I going to put it, Alex? Talk to me. Tell me, boy. I'm probably going to give it a 7.5.
Yeah.
And I'll type that in the wrong box, obviously. But yeah, no, like I say, if this was 2008, 2010, this would be, I'd be raving about it like I did Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay, cool. I think I am probably in agreement with Alex. I think, I don't want to sound like I'm just mirroring what he's saying, but for an MMORPG, a massively multiplayer online game, it didn't feel like it on this run. And yeah, Joey's probably right. It's probably just the fact that we're in a starting area. But by that extension, there should also be a bunch of players available there. If we've got an all-time player peak of the month of 7 million, where are they? You know? Yeah, I think 7.5 seems about right. I think that's probably what I'm going to go with there.
I would recommend to people that they try the free, if they're interested, try the free trial, absolutely.
Yes.
If you want an MMO to get into, Final Fantasy XIV is probably your way to go.
It's beautiful.
Can I ask, this free trial, we all had it because we have Game Pass. Is it to everyone or is it Game Pass customers?
Everyone.
It's free.
Oh, there's no reason why you shouldn't try it.
I actually didn't do it on Game Pass, so even if you don't have Game Pass,
no, I did it through the Blizzard launcher.
Yeah, Battle.net. So you don't even have to have Game Pass to give this a go.
Heck, both of you then, because I did. No, I'm joking. No, that's. I think it's a really good thing that it's available for that time for free.
It's more than enough time to know if you're going to be into it or not. And even then, if you know that if you're not necessarily clicking with the game as such, you could try just a different racing class.
Yeah.
Just try something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. What's next on our episode, Joey?
Not Joey.
Yeah. No.
No.
Alex.
No. So the next episode is going to be a Thanks I Hate It. It's going to be courtesy of the lovely Dan from Gaming Views, Casting Views, and every other podcast under the sun in our hearts, yeah. We're going to do, and I've put this to a 10-hour limit because of the size of it, Mass Effect 2. What I do want you both to do, though, is go through the pre-log thing where you make decisions on the comic book.
Can't do it because I already started it.
Already started it.
Fine.
Wow.
Losers.
Wah, wah.
Spoilers, it doesn't run very well on the Steam Deck.
Do you want,
Sorry.
Alex, do you want to announce what our next main line is as well?
Our next main line is going to be a shorter one than World of Warcraft. It's going to be a Game Pass game called Citizen Sleeper, which is an interesting sort of dystopian, spacey kind of decision-based game with dice in it.
And that one comes out the 22nd of September. So I look forward to recording on the 20th.
Me too.
All right, good. Right, well, we'll see everyone next time. Goodbye.
Hold on. There's one thing I want to share before.
Oh, I thought you were doing some post-amble.
No, we're not doing post-amble. I can't believe for a second that we've not spoken about it. But here we go to end the episode.
Oh my God, my ears.
End it there.
Jeez.